Good morning, I'm Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. The government declares additional 2,674 individuals as martyrs, the highest 369 new martyrs from Rolpa. Chief Minister of Sudur Pashchim Province forms the Council of Ministers, appoints 2 ministers from Nagarik Unmukti and 1 state minister. US President Joe Biden says a ceasefire agreement in Gaza by the start of Ramadan very tough. 3 more children die of malnutrition and dehydration. And Nepal lock horns with Hong Kong in the T20 International Series today. Nepal winning the toss, elected to bowl first. The government has declared additional 2,674 individuals as martyrs. The newly formed coalition government made public the new list of martyrs today. The government has declared additional 2,674 individuals as martyrs in honor of their martyrdom during various movements, armed struggle and revolution. The list of martyrs have been published in the National Gazette. Majority of the newly declared martyrs were from Rolpa. The highest 369 names from Rolpa have been included in the list, 171 from Kalikot, 168 from Kavre and 165 from Jadarkot. Likewise, 133 names have been listed from Bardia, 101 from Bake, 100 from Dang, 90 from Kailali, 70 each from Rukum East and Panchthar, 69 from Rukum West and 55 from Thading. Political debate regarding the declaration of martyrs has continued. Meanwhile, the government has said that majority of them had been martyred after the fiscal year 2058. Chief Minister of Sudur Pashchim Province, Kamal Bahadur Shah, who had scrapped the province ministers from CPN Mao Centre and CPN Unified Socialist, has expanded the Council of Ministers. Chief Minister Shah has appointed 2 ministers from Nagarik Unmukti Party and 1 state minister. Ghanshyam Chaudhary and Khushi Ram Chaudhary of Nagarik Unmukti Party have been appointed province ministers, while Indira Giri has been appointed the state minister. Ghanshyam has been appointed as Minister for Financial Affairs, while a ministry has yet to be allocated for Khushi Ram. Likewise, Giri has been allocated Agriculture State Ministry. The newly appointed ministers were administered the oath of office and secrecy yesterday evening. Chief Minister Shah said he hopes that the province government will secure a majority. Minister for Financial Affairs Chaudhary is a federal parliament leader of Nagarik Unmukti Party. Meanwhile, CPN Mao Centre and CPN Unified Socialist have withdrawn their support given to the province government. Chairperson of Nagarik Unmukti Party, Ranjita Shrestha Chaudhary, meanwhile, has directed the province assembly members from her party to quit the Kamal Bahadur Shah-led government in Sudur Pashchim. Party Chair Chaudhary, questioning the provincial leader's decision to join the government without consulting her, directed the parliamentary party leader Ghanshyam Chaudhary to leave the government today itself. The former Minister for Physical Infrastructures and Transport, Prakash Jwala, was found guilty by the probe committee in Lalitpur's Balkumari incident on 29th of December last year, which claimed the lives of 2 youths. CPN-UML obstructed the parliament following the incident, demanding for actions against Minister Jwala. The party has currently joined the government. CPN-UML now has a different view regarding the incident. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal had assured of implementing the suggestion given by the probe committee, which was led by former High Court Judge Shekhar Paudil. However, Premier Dahal has now started saying that he has fulfilled his responsibility after relieving former Minister Jwala from his post. However, he had not relieved him from the post based on the probe committee's suggestion. It was due to the change in political equation. CPN-UML's view on the Balkumari incident has changed, and party leaders are now saying that their demands have been met. Prime Minister Dahal had formed a committee including Minister for Law Dhanraj Gurung and Minister for Energy Shakti Bahadur Basnet to study the report handed by the probe committee. He had said that a decision for an action on the incident would be taken on 3rd of March. However, Premier Dahal now says that the dispute has been resolved. CPN-UML has also remained silent on the investigation carried out by the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority, CIAA, against Chief Secretary Vaikunta Aryal regarding the Terramox procurement case. The party had raised the issues concerning former Minister Mohan Bahadur Basnet and Chief Secretary Aryal at the Parliament on several occasions. However, the issues are not in UML's priority at the moment. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
What's your say on the trend of claiming to be innocent right after being relieved from the post? Your options are A, politicization of the process, B, example of bad governance, and C, action should be taken. Voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces regarding their role in women empowerment. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
नारीलाई उचित शिक्षा उचित वातावरण दियो भने त्यो नारीले कहिले पनि आफूले केही गर्न लागेको काममा कहिले पछाडी हट्दैन
महिलालाई आफूसँग आफूभन्दा अगाडि डोर्याएर लैजाने भावना र त्यो सोच हुनुपर्छ
पुरुषको साथ भएन भने त नारी अगाडि बढ्नै सक्दैन
घरमै सीमित नराखेर विभिन्न कार्यहरुमा अगाडि बढ्नको लागि उत्साहित गर्ने
उनीहरुलाई कसरी सफल हुन सकिन्छ त्यो पनि हेल्प गर्नुपर्छ प्रेरणा दिनुपर्छ
महिलालाई पुरुष दाजुभाइ श्रीमानले सहयोग गरेछ भने चाहिँ उले बाहिर गएर आनन्दले काम गर्नु चाहिँ पाउँछ र काम गरिरहेको पनि हुन्छ र उ अगाडि बढ्न पनि सक्छ
उहाँलाई सर्वोपरि मानेर चाहिँ हामीले सहयोग गर्नुपर्छ तब मात्र महिलाको सशक्तिकरण अथवा महिला चाहिँ भनौं न अगाडि बढ्छ
घरदेखि लिएर हामी समाजसम्म महिलाहरूलाई चाहिँ अवसर दिनु पर्यो
महिलालाई सामाजिक शैक्षिक आर्थिक हरेक पाटोमा चाहिँ बलियो बनाउन सक्यो भने महिला सशक्तिकरण हुन सकिन्छ
एउटा पुरुष सफल हुनको लागि महिलाको ठुलो हात हुन्छ भने जस्तै अब महिला सफल हुनको लागि पनि पुरुषको एकदम ठुलो हात हुन्छ
शिक्षा सिप योग्यता अनुसारको स्वरोजगार बनाउनको निमित्त यदि पुरुषहरूले सहयोग गर्ने हो भने महिलाको सशक्तिकरण सँगसँगै महिलाको आर्थिक सशक्तिकरण पनि हुन्छ
Time now for international update. US President Joe Biden says it was looking tough for a ceasefire agreement in Gaza by the start of Ramadan. He also said he was concerned about violence in East Jerusalem without a ceasefire. In the meantime, 3 more children have died of malnutrition and dehydration at Gaza's Al-Shifa hospital, Palestinian officials said, bringing the confirmed toll from starvation to 23. Furthermore, 5 people have been killed by airdropped aid boxes because parachutes failed to open, highlighting the problem of getting desperately needed humanitarian relief into Gaza amid Israeli restrictions. At least 30,878 Palestinians have been killed and 72,402 injured in Israeli attacks on Gaza since October 7. The death toll in Israel from Hamas's October 7 attack stands at 1,139 and dozens continue to be held captive. A ship carrying desperately needed humanitarian aid is expected to set sail this weekend, bound for Gaza. The Spanish vessel Open Arms is scheduled to depart from Cyprus, the closest EU country to Gaza, and hope to use a newly opened shipping route. With no functioning port and shallow waters, it is still unclear where the ship will dock when it reaches Gaza. The UN says a quarter of the strip's population is on the brink of famine and children are starving to death. The ship, expected to reach Gaza in the next few days, belongs to the Spanish charity of the same name, Open Arms. It will tow a barge loaded with 200 tons of food provided by US charity World Central Kitchen. At the destination point, a team from the World Central Kitchen has been building a pier to receive the aid. The group has 60 kitchens throughout Gaza where it will be able to distribute the food. The maritime corridor was announced by European Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen yesterday while she was in Cyprus. That came a day after President Joe Biden announced that the US plans to build a temporary floating port to Gaza's shoreline. The United Nations Security Council yesterday called for an immediate cessation of hostilities in Sudan, prompting China to remind it not to forget about the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza and Russia to accuse the United States of double standards. Russia abstained while the remaining 14 council members voted in favor of the British drafted resolution that called for an immediate cessation of hostilities during the Muslim fasting month of Ramadan, which begins early next week. War erupted in Sudan on April 15, 2023 between the Sudanese army and paramilitary rapid support forces. The UN says nearly 25 million people, half Sudan's population, need aid. Some 8 million have fled their homes and hunger is rising. Washington says the warring parties have committed war crimes. Between 10,000 and 15,000 people were killed in one city alone in Sudan's West Darfur region last year in ethnic violence by the RSF and allied Arab militia, according to a UN sanctions monitors report. Russia's deputy UN ambassador Anna Evstenieva accused the US of double standards by dragging out the adoption of a document on a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, where health authorities say more than 30,000 Palestinians have been killed in the past 5 months. The United States has vetoed 3 draft council resolutions since the war began on October 7, when Hamas attacked Israel, killing 1,200 people and taking 253 hostages, according to Israeli tallies. Washington's ally Israel retaliated with an air and a land assault on the Palestinian militants in Gaza. Peruvian police said they had captured an Iranian and Peruvian national yesterday who allegedly were planning an attack on an Israeli person at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, scheduled to be held later this year in the Andean nation. Peru's chief of police, Oscar Arriola, told a press conference the arrests were made after an investigation in coordination with international intelligence agencies, which provided sensitive information about an Iranian citizen who arrived in Peru at the beginning of March. Both the Iranian, whom Arriola identified as 56-year-old Majid Azizi, and the Peruvian were arrested on Thursday. Azizi also holds Peruvian nationality by marriage. Arriola said that authorities had identified the Israeli who would have been targeted in the attack, though they were choosing not to release the person's name due to security reasons. The U.S. Coast Guard was trying to identify the source of an oil spill off the coast of Huntington Beach, California, yesterday. The sheen, estimated at 2.5 miles in length and 0.5 miles in width, was discovered after a Coast Guard helicopter flew over the site at sunrise. The spill is located roughly 2.8 miles off Huntington Beach near 2 oil drilling platforms, but it was unclear whether either were the source of the spill, according to the Coast Guard's statement. A Pentagon report on unidentified flying objects said U.S. government investigations since the end of World War II have found no evidence of extraterrestrial technology and had concluded that most sightings were misidentified ordinary objects and phenomena. The report released yesterday follows on from a 2022 Pentagon announcement that its then newly formed All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, had not found any evidence to suggest that aliens have visited Earth or crash-landed here. Under the 2023 National Defense Authorization Act, AARO was required to issue a report to Congress detailing the government's historical record relating to unidentified anomalous phenomena since 1945. And before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories again. The government declares additional 2,674 individuals as martyrs, the highest 369 new martyrs from Rolpa. Chief Minister of Sudurpashchim Province forms the Council of Ministers, appoints 2 ministers from Nagarik Unmukti and 1 state minister. US President Joe Biden says a ceasefire agreement in Gaza by the start of Ramadan very tough. 3 more children die of malnutrition and dehydration. And Nepal lock horns with Hong Kong in the T20 International Series today. Nepal chose to bowl first after winning the toss. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good day.